the money, the funds, must be appropriated for. Anything short of that, we are bloody wasting time. I've given you an example of the Obamacare. These are not things that
you spoke about proceeds of corruption.
Yes.
How much have we received, been able to, recover? Today?
I don't have exact figures.
Nobody knows in the country.
But we all know.
The party is not telling us.
No, we all know as a fact. Even the MTN fine is part of proceeds, because those are fines that perhaps some person somewhere had over time put on the side burner, and the new sheriff in town will say, "Hey, you got to pay this, man."
That's part of proceeds of corruption.
It's part of proceeds, monies that are being freed.
Of corruption?
Not of corruption. Sorry, I've not said it's of corruption. Though again, if something ought to have been paid and you almost want to hide it, well, I don't know what other name to call it, but I'm not saying that is. But those are funds that are being freed, that are being available for government. Like I refer again to Dr. Ebe Kachiku, who said what we consume, subsidy was being paid on 40 million liters, is nearer 30 than 40. What is going to be freed from that?
So you're saying that there's corruption going in there?
Oh, there's no doubt that there's corruption in our body politic. There's no doubt about that.
With respect to subsidy payment.
Oh, I mean, who didn't know that? I was part of those who were part of the Occupy Nigeria campaign. Who didn't know that I mean, are we not seeing what is playing out in the Madikwe's case in England? Are we not seeing all of that? Who didn't know it was a cesspool of the subsidy regime was a cesspool of corruption? I'm not authoritatively saying that it was a cesspool of corruption.
Even though, in spite of all of those, we still don't know how much you've gotten, how many people you plan to pay these monies, what's the plan to pay these monies, when will these monies be paid?
Let the president present his appropriation to the National Assembly and to Nigerians.
So we're saying for sure, it will be factored in the next appropriation.
I assume so. It's a promise that the party has not said, we will not keep. The party has not reneged on this promise, except you want to educate me otherwise, that it has at some point say, oh, we are no longer doing it. I'm not aware that the party has at any point said...
No, because the impression people have, because it's also important that your party gets what...
No, it's not
put people in proper perspective.
The party itself had been in opposition at some point, so we understand it. It's inevitable. It's part of keeping the party on its toes, and it's healthy for our democracy. It is very, very healthy that some people somewhere will continue to do a critique, and it is right to so do.
A lot of
continuous critique, put the party on its toes, just like you said now. You've just read the manifesto to me. It's a constant reminder that, look, Nigerians are in a hurry. I mean, because that's where we are, in a hurry, and naturally so. From where we are coming from, the mess, the almost total destruction of our values.
If I may interrupt you, I'm very interested in the image, that this paints, because what we saw on the floor, and I think that newspaper headlines would be very right. When you see a caption that says, APC senators reject 5,000 stipend payment, they're right. I mean, that's
absolutely wrong.
Excuse me. That was essentially what happened on the floor of the Senate yesterday. What we saw was that a motion was moved for the payment of 5,000.
Immediate payment, please.
Immediate payment.
Immediate.
Payment, is payment, however it is.
Immediate.
What we saw on the floor of the Senate was a rejection of that motion by APC senators without a condition.
Absolutely.
There was no condition whatsoever attached. It was simply dismissed.
That was politics at play, coming from a Pius Aduda of PDP. And of course, I think...
His name is Senator Philip Aduda.
Oh, Philip Aduda, sorry. I'm sure they have achieved what they want to achieve. That is why it's a talking point. I commend them for that.
Achieve what they want to achieve? How?
What, to make it a talking point. Divert attention, attempt to set the public. But
I'm simply saying, do you think, if you're saying, if the explanation that you're giving right now is what is, do you think that the APC senators could have handled that particular motion better? What we saw was that there was a ruling on it. I mean, the Senate President did rule on that particular motion, and it was the APC senators who rejected it.
Yes, rightly so. You don't want to propose something akin to a money bill through a motion. It's legislative practice. Rightly so.
But there was no reason given.
Look, listen, they need not give any reason. You have brought a motion which says, go and pay 5,000 stipend to unemployed Nigerians immediately. Absolutely no. Absolutely, I would vote against it.
Without any explanation whatsoever.
Because there's no appropriation for it. And let's even ask ourselves, PDP, moving a motion that the APC government. We all read between the lines.
What's wrong with that? It's your promise. The party promised
that is
to
what
do
he
it.
said. He said the president to fulfill this party's promise. Yes, he said that. He needs
if he didn't promise it, would they have moved that motion in the first place?
Let that president send you appropriation. Let him come. When he has not appropriated, look, you can now start questioning him on his promises.
Mr. Ogala, the reason why some people think that it's a little faulty is because, number one, they wonder, how much are you planning on? Because how much are you targeting to get from the proceeds of corruption?
Exactly.
Nobody knows. Are you planning based on a figure you don't know?
So let the president, when he puts up his appropriation bill. Obama did not tell you, Obamacare, what it was going to cost him when he was campaigning. Neither did he tell you in his first 6 months or first year in office.
Your party spelled this out in your manifesto. Proceeds from corruption, which they will free up and then channel it to that.
Yes, so, but let this process come in.
How much of the process are you expecting to come in?
The presidency. I mean, I don't speak for the presidency.
No, but it's a party manifesto.
No, I don't speak. So, with all respect, Mr. Chamberlain, neither am I here speaking for the party. You know, I think we need to trade these things.
No, all members of the party should understand their party manifesto.
No. Now you are talking about specific government programs. How much have they received
I'm talking about party manifesto.
The party manifesto
not
is clear.
Program.
It says we would fund this from process of corruption. So at the appropriate time, when the president decides, okay, it's time to run on this program, he will come out with his budget proposal. This is how I'm going to fund. This is how much I've been able to make from the process of corruption, wherever I'm going to fund it from. I mean, we're even talking about even development partners being interested in the program today.
You know, I'm also wondering.
Even the development partners are showing more than a passing interest. It's in the media.
Could you tell us
that they are also saying they want to collaborate with the federal government on this project?
All right, tell us then. Give us an idea. What kind of what do we expect in terms of if they're going to pay these monies in the next appropriation, which will be budgeted for?
Yes.
As you say, we should expect it.
Yes.
If they get. We don't know how many people they're targeting in the first place.
They will. That is why I'm saying it is a program, supposedly a well-thought-out program.
Okay,
that is going to come out with a comprehensive plan. You do not say, oh, I'm going to pay 5 million. Oh, okay. Who are the unemployed youths? You have to identify unemployed, unemployable. Those you are going to teach new skills. Because not everybody that.
But at the moment, has the party been able to identify how many?
I assume serious thoughts and planning are going on. A promise was made. Like I said, the vice president had even after an assumption of office, they had come out. So when it is time for implementation, the facts and figures will be laid bare. You don't send figures out piecemeal. The Office of Statistics is sending out figures, so they won't use the Office of Statistics or the Statistician General of the country. We'll give them figures, these are unemployed youth, and then they take it from there. Thank God the ministers are now in place. Thank God they are at a retreat as we speak.
Because the Office of Statistics, using the 2014 data,
yes,
I think there was some sort of calculation here, because at that time, the 2014 figure says about 1.8 million graduates enter the labor market every year.
Every year.
And no fewer than 5.3 million youths are jobless in the country.
Yes.
And then that figure then also says you have Nigerians in poverty at about, I think, 112 million. That represents 6-7%.
Yeah.
That's of a country of 167 million
Yeah,
people.
poverty
so it means
is
if you're to pay 5,000 naira to 100 and that's about 102 million naira monthly.
No. For the unemployed youths.
Yeah.
It has to be appropriated.
So process of corruption can really tackle this.
I think process of corruption, you plug the loopholes, cut waste. There is a process of corruption. I mean, corruption is deep in our country. We need not pretend about it.